Whether I'm going to the store, the gym, or hitting the trails, there's stuff that I always have with me in my truck. These are things that will be useful to me or other drivers that are in emergency situations, so there's something that I always keep in my truck. Some of it is kind of off-roading specific, but it's small enough to have a permanent space in my truck, so I just keep it in there even when I'm not going off-roading. So everything that I cover in this video will be listed in the description below, and I'll provide links to everything as well. So let's get into it. So the first place that I store stuff is right behind the driver's side, both behind the seat and underneath the seat. So let's first look underneath. So in this storage, keep a hatchet. This is really nice because you know, sometimes we have trees or branches or whatever that fall in the middle of the trail. So I've used this a couple times to clear the trail with it. And you know, if I get in, or if someone else is in an accident and I need to get them out and smash out a window or something, you know, I could use that for that as well. And then I also keep a breaker bar with the correct size for my lugs, because that changed once I got the new wheels and tires. So behind this seat, first thing I keep is this Boulder Tools kit. I've reviewed this kit before and it's really awesome, but it has a tire pressure gauge in it, has some valves and valve caps and a valve remover tool in it, and then it has the actual air down tools themselves, and there's 4 of them in here, so you can put one on each, and I have these set to 20 psi, so they take every tire down to 20 psi, and you just leave them on there, and it's so awesome to use these to air down with. I love these, but these are always in my truck because it's such a compact little kit. To go with that, I have this kit, which is what I use to air up. This is by no means the best kit you can get, but it's what I have for the time being. So it's slime. It was like $60 at AutoZone. It just plugs into the cigarette lighter. It's got a tire pressure gauge on it, but it doesn't seem that reliable, so I just use the Boulder Tools kit. I'm not entirely sure how long this hose is, but it gets me all around my truck, so it's long enough for that. I've used this thing probably 5 times, and I honestly didn't think I was going to get that much use out of it. I thought it was going to die way before then, so I'm actually impressed with the longevity of it. But it takes me like 20 minutes to reinflate my tires after, and it's 10 psi per tire that I go up after the trail. So it's not great, but it gets the job done for now. Eventually I want to replace this. I'm looking into, I don't want to do the ARB system because I've heard of it failing people on the trails. So I'm actually looking into like a power tank system, and there's homemade stuff you can do like a power tank with scuba tanks. So I'm looking at doing that to replace this kit, but I have to get overland bars and a way to mount it before I can do that. So there's that. The next thing I carry all the time is this first aid kit. This was something I picked up on Amazon. I think it was around $40. May have been $50. But I think this is really important for you to have. And I keep this all the time because, you know, in case I come across an accident and there's someone that needs medical attention, or if I'm on the trails and, you know, someone in my group needs medical attention, this is always something that I have in the truck. So it has a splint in it, it has a trauma bandage, it has a tourniquet, it has a little pen to mark the tourniquet, because tourniquets, you can only have them on for about 2 hours before all the tissue starts dying. It has a pair of scissors. It has some clotting gauze in it. It has a thermal blanket. It has bandages. It has alcohol wipes. It has an ACE bandage. It's pretty well outfitted in this little package. There's a lot that comes in it, so I love this kit. I would highly recommend anyone, whether you're on the trail a lot or not, I would recommend everyone have this in their vehicle, because I think it's just a good thing to have on hand, because you never know. So there's that. And the last thing I keep on this side is, this is just kind of a roadside emergency kit. I keep matches in here just because that's just where I keep my matches for when I go camping or whatever, or when I go shooting, so I always have them available. I have some jumper cable right here, and then in this bag I have a high visibility jacket. I have some gloves. There's a flathead screwdriver, some electrical tape, a little bit of bandages, and then flashlight and batteries. So, which is, you shouldn't need much more than that in a roadside emergency situation. So that's pretty cool. I don't know where I've had this for years, and I don't remember where I got it, but I'll try and find it or something similar, and link it in the description below. But all of this fits right behind this seat, kind of packed in pretty nicely. So everything that I just went over, the roadside emergency kit is below this, so that goes right there. Sorry for the light's a little weird right now. My air inflator goes right there. Older tools kit goes right on top of that. And then my first aid right over here. Let's see if I can, there we go. All right like that. And then this fits right back there like that. On this side, there's nothing back here because I have the premium Tacoma, so I got a subwoofer back there. I guess I have this shelf that I could put stuff on, but it's I don't want stuff sliding around back there and making a bunch of noise. In here, I don't have too much in here. This is where they put the jack and everything from the factory. So over here, I just have a set of tie downs. I can't tell you how many times I've needed tie downs, and just having them in the truck and ready to go whenever is awesome. So I just keep them right there. Those I bought at Home Depot. It was like 15 bucks for the kit, and they're great tie downs. Love them. Up in the front of the truck, the only thing that's really worth mentioning is some sanitizing wipes, which is kind of a hot commodity right now, but I do always keep some wipes in my truck for well, I've been using them a lot lately with the coronavirus or whatever, but this is really nice to have when I finish off-roading. And if we, like last time we were out, we put chains on one of the trucks, and so I used this to clean up afterwards. They were kind of rusty, so that did the trick. There's one more thing that's always in my truck. That is in the bed back here. So one of the things they did, and I think they did it in 2018, or it might have been 2019 when they removed it, but they removed the storage compartment on the driver's side in the bed, which was so dumb. Like, I loved that compartment back there when I had my 2016. It's not there anymore, so you know, that kind of sucks, but it's whatever. But on this side, I keep a shackle. So this is, I mean, I guess this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to keep in my truck all the time. It's just kind of like, it's there in case I need it and someone else happens to have a strap. I have a strap, but I typically only put it in my truck if I'm going off-roading. So I keep this, I keep that there. at all times. So those are the things that I always have in my truck. There's some things that I would like to add and always have in my truck, but it's gonna take some kind of reorganizing and figuring out how to store everything, because as you can see, everything's pretty nicely packed in there, so I don't have a ton of room right now to add things. Looking at maybe getting some Motley panels or something like that to better organize what's in my truck. That way I can store some more stuff in there. I think the biggest thing that I want to add to my truck and have it in there all the time is a snatch strap. I have the shackle, so it doesn't make sense to have the shackle in there all the time and not have some sort of strap that I can use. I mean, that's a commonly used thing on the trails, but you know, maybe someone drives himself into the ditch on the side of the freeway and needs to be tugged out or something like that. It would just be a nice thing to have in my truck all the time. Another thing I would want to add is, while I have gloves and flashlights in that little kit, and I'm sure they'd be fine, they aren't the highest of quality. So I think I would want to replace those gloves and replace the flashlight. Definitely the flashlight, because it's a cheap little flashlight. So I'd want to replace that. And to be honest, I can't think of anything else I would want to have in my truck at all times. I think it's pretty well kitted for everyday use, and it definitely has more in it than the typical driver does on the road. But if you can think of anything that you think I should add, or maybe you carry something in your vehicle, please share it with me. I would love to hear difference of opinions and different approaches to what you carry in your vehicle on a daily basis. Just be interesting to see that conversation, get different ideas of what to do, maybe what not to do, or anything. So start that conversation in the comment section below. In the next video, I'm going to talk about what I take when I go off-roading, as far as recovery gear and stuff like that. So that'll be in the next video. But if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.